We start the day's other headlines with the latest fallout from the Jeffrey Epstein files. Police searched the former home of Andrew Mountbatten Windsor, located on the grounds of Windsor Castle west of London. The king's brother had lived there for decades until his eviction earlier this month. The search comes a day after he was arrested on suspicion of misconduct in public office related to his friendship with the late convicted sex offender. The former prince was released after nearly 11 hours. Separately, the lobbying firm, co-founded by Peter Mandelson, has halted operations. The former British ambassador to the U.S. has come under increasing pressure due to his ties to Epstein. And in this country, Bard College in New York has opened an independent review into the relationship between Epstein and the school's longtime president, Leon Botstein. The Trump administration is requiring all truckers and bus drivers to take commercial driving tests in English. The move was announced today by Transportation Secretary Sean Duffy, who said it would get unqualified drivers off the road and improve safety.
Just because you're a foreigner, that doesn't mean that you can't drive a big rig. You can't drive a truck. Well, what's happened that we've had so many unskilled, unqualified, untrained drivers on American roads?
Many states allow drivers to take license tests in other languages, but still require that they show proficiency in English. Today's announcement is part of a broader crackdown on the industry since a fatal crash last August involving an immigrant driver who officials say was in the country illegally. In New York, the largest nursing strike in decades is close to ending after thousands of nurses reached a tentative agreement with management today. More than 4,000 nurses at New York Presbyterian Hospital had been on the picket line for more than a month. The union says today's deal includes staffing improvements, a 12% pay raise, and safeguards against the use of AI. If approved, nurses could return to work as early as next week. They would rejoin the nearly 11,000 other New York nurses who ratified contracts with 2 other hospitals last week. In Venezuela, opposition groups say a new amnesty law that could lead to the release of hundreds of political prisoners does not go far enough. Acting President Delcy Rodriguez signed the measure yesterday. It signals a broad shift in policy toward such prisoners, but has upset some families by excluding certain groups like detained military members. Opposition leader Juan Pablo Guanipa had been under house arrest. The bill granted his freedom, but speaking to reporters, he warned of a long fight ahead.
The important thing is not the law. The important thing is political will. I am sure that all those who are outside will be able to return and that we will be able to have all political prisoners released. That is what has to happen, and that is the pressure that we have to exert.
A Venezuela-based rights group estimates some 600 people remain in jail for political reasons. House Speaker Mike Johnson's office denied a request for the late Reverend Jesse Jackson to lie in honor in the U.S. Capitol Rotunda. Jackson's family and some House Democrats had filed the request for the civil rights icon who died earlier this week at the age of 84. In rejecting the request, the Speaker's office cited past precedent. Most recently, a request to honor slain conservative activist Charlie Kirk was also denied. But there have been some exceptions, including civil rights icon Rosa Parks in 2005 and the Reverend Billy Graham in 2018. Even before today's tariff announcement, a pair of economic reports raised new concerns about the health of the U.S. economy. The Commerce Department said today that the fourth quarter GDP rose just 1.4% when compared to the year before. That was due largely to the effects of the government shutdown and was less than economists had expected. A separate report showed a vital gauge on inflation rising 2.9% in December, well above the Fed's preferred target of 2%. On Wall Street today, stocks posted decent gains following the Supreme Court's tariff decision. The Dow Jones Industrial Average added 230 points on the day. The Nasdaq rose 200 points, or nearly 1%. The S&P 500 also ended in positive territory. And tributes have been pouring in for actor Eric Dane, the Grey's Anatomy star who passed away yesterday.
McSteamy! Woohoo!
Is that what you're calling me now, McSteamy?
Dane made his first appearance as plastic surgeon Mark Sloan, also known as McSteamy, exactly 20 years ago to the day of his passing. He played that role from 2006 to 2012. Dane also portrayed the troubled Cal Jacobs on HBO's Euphoria, among other TV and film appearances. Last April, he announced he'd been diagnosed with ALS, a progressive disease also known as Lou Gehrig's disease, and became an advocate for the illness. After his diagnosis, Dane recorded this video message speaking directly to his teenage daughters.
I hope I've demonstrated that you can face anything. You can face the end of your days. You can face hell with dignity. Fight, girls, and hold your heads high.
In a statement, his family said, quote, he will be deeply missed and lovingly remembered always. Eric Dane was 53 years old. There are just 2 days of competition left at the Winter Olympics, and the U.S. is looking to lock in a few more medals before the Games wrap up. There are spoilers ahead, so fair warning. 31-year-old U.S. skier Alex Ferreira finally got a gold in the men's free ski halfpipe. He's won silver and bronze in past Olympics. The U.S. men's hockey team dominated Slovakia today, winning 6-2. They will face arch-rival Canada in the gold medal match on Sunday, the last day of the Games. U.S. women's curling came up short against Switzerland, so they'll vie for the bronze tomorrow. Looking at the overall medal count, the U.S. remains in second place with 29. Norway maintains the lead with 37 medals, and with 17 golds, broke its own record for most golds at a single Winter Games. Still to come, on the News Hour, Wyoming Governor Mark Gordon discusses key issues facing states in this politically fraught time. David Brooks and Jonathan Capehart weigh in on the week's political headlines. And Palestinians in Gaza observe Ramadan despite enormous destruction and loss.
This is the PBS NewsHour from the David M. Rubenstein Studio at WETA in Washington, headquarters of PBS News.
Support journalism you trust. Support PBS News. Donate now, or even better, start a monthly contribution today.